The life and tragic ending of Ann Blyth. Anne Marie Blyth was born on August 16, 1928, in Mount Kisco, New York, to Harry and Nan Lynch Blyth. After her parents separated, Anne, her mother, and her sister moved to a walk-up apartment on East 31st Street in New York City, where her mother worked as a laundress. Anne attended St. Patrick's School in Manhattan. Her entertainment journey began early, performing on children's radio shows in New York for 6 years, starting at the age of 5. By 9, she joined the New York Children's Opera Company. Anne's first acting role was on Broadway in Lillian Hellman's Watch on the Rhine from 1941 to 1942, playing Babette, the daughter of Paul Lucas's character. The play, which ran for 378 performances and won the New York Drama Critics Circle Award, eventually went on tour. While performing in Los Angeles, Anne was offered a contract with Universal Studios. She initially used the stage name Ann Blyth, but later reverted to Anne. Her film debut came in 1944 with the teenage musical Chip Off the Old Block, starring alongside Donald O'Connor and Peggy Ryan. She followed up with 2 similar films, The Mary Monahans and Babes on Swing Street, both in 1944. That same year, she appeared in the larger-budgeted Bowery to Broadway. On loan to Warner Brothers, Anne portrayed Veda Pierce, the scheming and ungrateful daughter of Joan Crawford's character in Mildred Pierce, 1945. Her riveting performance earned her widespread acclaim and an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress at just 16 years old. Tragically, she suffered a broken back in a tobogganing accident shortly after, limiting her ability to capitalize on her newfound fame. After recovering, Anne worked on films such as Swell Guy, 1946, and Brute Force, 1947. During this time, she also faced personal challenges, including the death of her father. MGM borrowed her for Killer McCoy, 1947, a successful boxing film. She returned to Universal for roles in A Woman's Vengeance, 1948, and Lillian Hellman's Another Part of the Forest, 1948. Anne continued her career with films like Mr. Peabody and the Mermaid, 1948, Red Canyon, 1949, and Top of the Morning, 1949, where she sang on screen for the first time. Throughout the 1950s, she starred in a mix of musicals, comedies, and dramas, including The Great Caruso, 1951, The World in His Arms, 1952, and All the Brothers Were Valiant, 1953. Her final major role was in The Helen Morgan Story, 1957, where her vocals were dubbed, though the soundtrack proved more successful than the film itself. After this, Anne transitioned to musical theater and television, appearing in productions such as The King and I, The Sound of Music, and Showboat. She also guest-starred in popular TV shows, including The Twilight Zone and Murder, She Wrote. In 1953, Anne married Dr. James McNulty, an obstetrician and the brother of singer Dennis Day. The couple received a special commendation from the Pope and had 5 children: Timothy Patrick, Maureen Ann, Kathleen Mary, Terence Grady, and Eileen Elena. Anne retired from acting in 1985 and devoted her later years to her family. She lived quietly after the death of her husband in 2007. In her final years, she battled health challenges and spent her days in solitude. For her contributions to the entertainment industry, Ann Blyth was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. Her legacy as a talented actress endures despite her life's bittersweet end.